Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another Necron learning curve and another cryptic, and this one we're looking at the Harbringer of the Storm, also known as a Storm Tech. So first of all, the model. This model was converted up and painted for me by Nerdpolis Prime. Awesome guy, you've probably seen. He's got his 250 subscriber competition on at the moment, so go and check that out. I should put a link in the description below. And as you can see, he's done a wonderful job on this cryptic here for me. I particularly like the hand where he's got it like turned up the other way as he's calling to the storm guards or whoever controls the storm. But anyway, yes, let's have a look at this guy, because this guy has potentially got promoted to the best cryptic in 6th edition, I would say. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at why. The reason is probably because of his Voltic staff, which has got a lot better. Now, it still has an issue that it's only 12 inches, but it is now haywire, and it has 4 attacks, which is pretty good. So, I mean, one of the great tactics to use with this guy, if you want to be rather aggressive with it, is to maybe have 3 of these potentially in with a Valtech, and then just pick your vehicle target and go out and kill it. So you've got that Land Raider across the table full of Terminators or something. Turn 1, just deep strike over there using the Valtech and blast it to pieces. Could potentially be good for anti-infantry as well, with that Voltic staff and then the Valtech staff. Strength 8, AP 1, you know, all that goodness. So a great little unit if you want to be aggressive. If you want to maybe hold back on that, still have that concept, but maybe hold back a little bit, you could potentially put them into a Night Scythe. So you could have maybe a small unit of warriors or immortals, and then stick this guy in with that unit, again allowing you to do rather nice little precision strikes. So that is a great way to use this guy. It's not actually how I tend to use him. I actually use him in more of a defensive role, which you've probably seen in my Super Flanks videos before. But basically, I have him in my unit of 20 guys with the beefed up Necron Overlord backed up by those 2 Ghost Arcs. And he's in there for 2 reasons. The first reason that he's in there, the priority reason, is to help me avoid bad challenges. You know, if you get a challenge and it's going to be a wasted challenge for your Lord, you can just accept the challenge with this cryptic instead, which is really, really good. So that's very useful just for freeing up your Lord to go in and do his business with all of his beefed up war gear. We talked about the Overlord in a previous video. Go and check that out if you're interested. And then the number 2 reason is because because you can take the Lightning Field, which is another awesome piece of war gear, relatively cheap. Basically, if you get assaulted, the enemy immediately takes D6 Strength 8 AP5 hits. Okay, it's only AP5, but D6 Strength 8. Now, if you're a bit of a demon rolling a D6, that potentially can be pretty good. I suppose arguably you could even have the what's he called, the Chronometron tech in there as well, letting you maybe re-roll that D6. So it could be pretty useful. But that's a great thing to have, some strength 8 hits before the combat starts, just to maybe try and do a little bit of damage, and potentially, I suppose, if you have a couple of those in that unit, that could be quite powerful. So the Harbinger of the Storm definitely can bring something to your army, either a defensive or attacking role. Great little cryptic. I wouldn't bother taking the Ethereal Crystal personally. It does help if your enemy deep strikes. So if they deep strike within 6 inches of you, they suffer again D6 Strength 8 AP5 hits, which it does sound really good, doesn't it? I mean, I play against Blood Angels quite a lot. They have all their deep striking shenanigans. and even I don't take that. It's 15 points. It's quite a lot of points, and usually your enemy's not deep striking so close to you. If you are in that environment where you're playing a lot of demons and stuff, maybe if they're deep striking all the time around you, that's your environment. It might be worth having, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Not as a standard upgrade for 15 points. And after all, what is just a 1 wound model? Okay, so that's it for the Storm Tech. As I said, you can't really go wrong with this guy. Awesome cryptic. And next up, we're going to have a look at the Harbringer of Transmorphication, if I can say it. Okay, more to come.